Welcome shooters and collectors to another edition of Side by Side. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at some components for the Beretta 92X Performance, or Performance X, however you want to say it, manufactured by Toni Systems. And this is a company that didn't have a clue that existed, and then one day I was just surfing the net looking around at some modifications, stuff like that, and I came across this company called Toni Systems out of Italy that made a lot of really interesting parts for guns. They don't make it just for Beretta. They do Benelli, Glock, Sig. They do a lot of other manufacturers. And I reached out to them because I couldn't find anything in the United States, and you could buy it, but then it would have to be exported, and you had to find an exporter and wait a long time, pay a lot of money, and so that was sort of out of the question. But recently, they now have a, I guess, distributor retailer here in the United States. So within a couple of weeks, you can have all your parts for your Beretta. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at what I have on my pistol here, and we'll begin by looking at this absolutely massive 4-port compensator. And this compensator, I can say, is a little bit different than other compensators I have seen on pistols. With the respect that usually when you see a compensator, all the ports are the same size, and on this one they're not. So I'm sure there's an engineering reason for that, but of course you can see this is the largest port here, and then they just get progressively smaller, and then there's 2 ports on either side as well. And the system works really well. The muzzle flip is just minimal. You can really keep the red dot on target. Next we'll take a look at this bridge mount, and it's really nice. It works great. And I really like the extra machining that they put in it. You can sort of see there all the grooves, and they do this on all their components. And I know it's just aesthetics, but it does make it look really nice, and it's very well machined and finished. To put the X mount on, there's 6 screws here. These 3 screws don't go all the way through. There's 3 on this side and then 3 here. And you put the bridge mount on, you screw everything down, and you'll notice that I have a Sig red dot here, a cheap Sig, and the reason I have that on here right now is because I had an extra one and I was impatient, and I haven't really decided what I'm going to put here. But I can tell you this: I typically go with Trigicon, with like an RMR, SRO, something like that, and they don't their plate isn't compatible with the Trigicon. I don't know why that is, but it was compatible with this. So if you have a Trigicon or you want to go the Trigicon route, you're going to have a problem with that. But I did see recently that someone had an adapter plate that they put on, and then they put their Trigicon on that. And I sent them out a message. I haven't got a response back yet of what plate it was, but it is possible to do if you're going to do a Trigicon. The next thing to take a look at is this absolutely massive thumb rest, and if you have large thumbs or large hands, you're not going to have an issue with it. It doesn't allow you to rub on the slide. It's got a really nice side panel here. Again, it has this nice machining ribbing in it. It's not really for slip. If you're really worried about slip, I don't think you would be, but if you are, you can put some skater tape in there. But it's really nice. Also, you can order a left-handed gas pedal or / thumb rest, because on the right-hand side of the mount, it is also machined, so you can just put that one there if you're left-handed, which is really nice. A lot of manufacturers never offer anything for left-handed people, but Toni Systems does. Moving down to the Magwell, again, it's got really nice this aesthetically pleasing machining on it, and this is probably the largest Magwell I've ever seen for a 9mm. It's just ginormous. You're never going to have a problem getting a magazine in it. To install it is relatively easy. You just knock out this roll pin. So the little, I don't know what you call it, I'll call it a plunger. The plunger comes out. You put the Toni Systems one in that is threaded. You put this on. You screw the bolt in. It holds it in place. And then Toni Systems also included this little piece of plastic to put in the hole. Again, it's sort of aesthetically pleasing. I don't know how long it'll be before that falls out, if it ever does, but it's a nice afterthought that they bothered to do. A lot of manufacturers wouldn't do that. Now I will tell you about what I learned about the Toni Systems Magwell, and that is you have 2 routes to go. I went the route of magazine with the Beretta base plate, thinking that's what I'll do. Since I already got them, it'll be fine. I get this installed. I put the Beretta magazine in with the base plate. Doesn't fit. I'm like, oh great, now what? Now, Toni Systems offers their own base plates, which is fine, but you know, if you have Beretta base plates or something and you want to use them, you're going to have to order the Toni System base plates. I went another route. I just pulled out a 20 round mag I had, and it has this piece of plastic on it here, sort of like a filler, and it goes in just fine. But what you will have to do is modify this piece of plastic here, and let me tell you, that is not an easy thing to do. There's a clip right here that holds this on from sliding back and forth, which I don't even know if that's absolutely necessary, because this piece of plastic is so tight on the magazine it does not go back and forth. But I guess it was just an extra measure somebody at either Beretta or Magwell decided to do. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to have to push this back and then pull this back at the same time. And I would recommend that you wear a really big leather glove, because you're going to stab yourself at least once in the hand doing this, as you can see here. It's very hard to get off. This is very difficult. And then once it's off, I just put it on a belt sander and sanded off what I thought was enough plastic to remove. Put it back on. I got lucky. It worked fine. It went in no problem, and it was done. So that's just the route I went. But if you do order this, you're going to have to order the Toni System extended base plates. Next thing we'll take a look at is the slide racker. And the slide racker, it's really nice. It's well designed. There's no wobble, no movement or anything in it, and it's also nice that it's contoured here. It's very easy to grip. And you know, a lot of times you look at slide rackers and there's just a piece of steel coming out of it. Not much. They didn't do much to it. Again, it has the nice machining in it for aesthetics as well, so it looks kind of cool. And what's really nice about this one is that it has a set screw here that you just undo a little bit, and the slide racker just comes out very easily. And the reason I really like this system is because when you go to clean the barrel and clean the gun and grease it and everything, if you don't have this, let's say you left your rear sight on, you're not going to get the rear sight past the mount. And if you have a slide racker that is pressed into here, you know, you're going to have to tap it out, but because it's not going to get past the mount either. But with this system, you just easily remove that, and then you can go ahead and take the slide right off, and that's it. That's easy. I'll go ahead and the last thing I'll show you here is the guide rod and the compensator. The compensator, by the way, is made out of aluminum, and here's the guide rod that came with the compensator, and it's a little bit longer. You can see it's Toni Systems. It's also made out of steel, not aluminum. And the guide rod is a little bit longer because it actually goes into the hole of the guide rod, or the compensator, excuse me, and it holds it in place and prevents it from twisting. Otherwise, it would just untwist itself and fall off, which of course you don't want. But this method, you can take this off and then take the barrel out and clean it, and do everything else. So I really like it. It's great, well thought out design. Everything is well engineered and well built, and has really nice finish on it and everything. And if you're into comps, you know, I'm sort of a kid of the 90s, and you always see all the old gun magazines. They had 9mm with comps and everything, and that sort of stuck with me, and all my buddies like those things too. So it's nice to be able to do this to your Beretta and I guess pimp it out a little bit. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like these videos. I don't do very many videos, maybe 12 a year, when something, you know, I think is unique and others would like to see it. So you're not going to get you're not going to be inundated with a lot of emails saying, oh, there's something new every day or every few hours. Don't worry about that. And it's not hard to subscribe. Just, you know, move that mouse over and click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.